there are some best practices that you can put in place in your business that aren't very hard, that just require a little bit of intention and thought put into how you're approaching your content, that actually can get you ranked and can help your SEO, and you don't have to be a master web developer or techie person to understand.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stupid Simple Marketing Podcast. My name is Bryan Fitton. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Brad Alexander.
What's up?
Man, we have a great guest today. Someone who I was introduced to through you. Didn't even know that you were in Northwest Arkansas. But once we had our first call during a snowstorm, by the way,
we did,
because we had to reschedule, and then I was in the dungeon of my basement, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's dark and scary down here. But we were snowed in, and we had a great call, and then we've been able to work together.
Yeah.
And so, Cari, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the 30-second overview of who you are and who you help.
Gosh, 30 seconds. That's so much pressure. So I am the founder of Storyteller Wordsmith. We are a storytelling creative studio. So we do digital marketing in general, but we really work with our clients to help them identify their story, and then we give them tools and assets to get it out to the world. So that's kind of what we do.
I love that. One of the things that really drew me to you guys and keeping it simple was the fact that you do a lot of like Squarespace sites, and it's kind of like, every marketing agency, it feels like they build custom, and we do big, WordPress sites, which is totally fine. But I was like, oh, that's just so nice that you do great looking websites that perform, that don't have to be extremely complicated. So today we're staying on that topic because we're going to be looking at SEO specifically for websites and what marketing directors, marketing managers, businesses can do to really impact search and how they can show up and rank appropriately. And so I'm really excited to get into this, to keep it simple. It shouldn't be so hard. SEO shouldn't be so hard, right?
Yeah, for real. I mean, I've what's funny to me about SEO is that it feels like it's this wizardry, right? And
Yes.
and if you're in marketing at all, everybody assumes that's all you do. They're like, oh, you must do SEO. And some people are like, I don't know. And so, but what I've encountered, and I know that what we're going to talk to you about today, is there are some things that are just fundamental that anybody can really know and do. It's not like it has to be some secret key somewhere. But I guess, why does it feel so complicated in your experience for these businesses to try to be successful with it? Like, why does it feel so overwhelming, so complicated to them?
Yeah, I think wizardry is a good way to encapsulate it, because part of it is very technical. Like, there is a side of SEO, and this is always something that we try to dissuade in our clients. There's a side of SEO that's very technical, and especially the way it started on WordPress, and you had to know coding, and you had to know page speeds, and someone started beeping and clicking at you as soon as you said, well, what about SEO, right? And then you're like, oh, I don't understand. Right? So it started hard.
Okay.
The truth is that it is a little bit of magic, because we don't always know what drives search rankings, right? And what we've been told, what that drives search rankings, is pretty subjective. Because everybody has a different way to measure it, including Google, on different days. So there is a lot of we just don't, it kind of is magic in some places. The opposite side of that is there are some best practices that you can put in place in your business that aren't very hard, that just require a little bit of intention and thought put into how you're approaching your content, that actually can get you ranked and can help your SEO, and you don't have to be a master web developer or techie person to understand.
Yeah. So it kind of what I'm hearing you say is there used to be really complicated, like very technical, because you had to be able to get into the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Now the way that the online tools are developed, that's not so much the case.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever is ranking for that, whatever engine it is, YouTube, Google, Bing, I don't know, whatever, then they keep moving the target possibly. And then they say, here's how to fix it. But it's it's more subjective.
Yes.
Right. And so, and I think I've seen that. It's like, the content just needs to be really good.
Yeah.
Okay. By whose standards,
awesome.
right? Fake. I thought my stuff was good. You don't know. But what are some, I guess in that, if you say there are some fundamental things people can do, before we get into those, what are the really common mistakes? That if you come into somebody and they've already got an existing web presence and they're looking for help, what are some common things you see over and over again? Like this, not everybody, lots of people tend to make these mistakes.
First of all, I'm glad Bryan mentioned that we do Squarespace sites. I mean, one of the things that is really important to us is to create a website that someone doesn't feel intimidated by. Because WordPress, I work in WordPress daily. And when I get into the back end of WordPress, my brain glitches out and it's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Right.
My heart rate goes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just looks hard. It isn't once you figure it out, but it looks hard and it's intimidating. So what we find is the confused mind says no, and owners don't. They don't keep it updated. They don't do the things.
Okay.
Squarespace is a great platform because it's really nice. It's got a great user interface in the back end. And so it feels easier. The biggest thing we see with most of our clients, the biggest mistake I see is just totally ignoring metadata and alt tags on their images. So
all right. So
I will explain.
I mean,
for me, I don't understand.
Just in case somebody doesn't know what those things are, what the heck is metadata and what is an alt tag on an image? And so,
in the simplest terms, the metadata, and actually alt tags are metadata.
Okay.
So the metadata is simply the data on the back end of the site that tells Google in specific, but tells other search engines as well, exactly what this page is and what you're trying to do with the page. So typically it looks like a meta title that usually looks like the title of the page, and also a description. So a short description that tells people and the Google gods what is on that page.
So when I get on Google and I search for whatever it is and my website shows up, is that what's displaying where it has my thing, like the fat title, then the words underneath it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a place on the website you can manipulate that.
That you can put that in, right? And it isn't typically intuitive where to put that because it's not on the page where you're
Why would it be?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to go looking for it.
Okay.
But once you figure out how to do that, it's a simple process and it gives you more real estate to kind of shove some of those keywords, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, into your descriptions so that your website itself, your web page itself doesn't feel like an SEO got a hold of it and shoved best financial planner near me into every headline, right? Because everybody's been on those websites where you're on it and you're like, stop yelling that you're the best in Northwest Arkansas. Thanks, I got it, right? So
we're so glad you're looking for a doctor in Adirondack area, New York City, zip code 737. Yeah, we serve all the clients in Adirondack, New York, 737. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So Brad hit on this earlier, but it's better content. What that looks like, and so is that an actual thing? Like, do businesses need to be putting more content, or do they need to focus on not more, but higher quality, or is it a mix of both?
That's a tough one. I would say, so if we're keeping it simple, the answer is better content over more content. That said, now that Google indexes everything, which they do, all social, Meta is indexed. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube videos, all of those things are indexed now, meaning they all show up or have the capability of showing up in search.
Okay.
So now that all your platforms are indexed, it's more important than ever that you have a cohesive message across all your platforms. And that's what I would say is better content, right?
Mhm.
Like your better content is content that speaks with your voice, shares your message, and it's shared cohesively across all your platforms. So that is step one, better. At the end of the day, more does win.
Mhm.
So more is a factor, but if you have to choose one, choose better content. That's the short answer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think in just conversations with businesses and marketing people, it's that consistency from what I've seen. It's, even if it's once a month or you're putting up a blog post or an article out, every month, just do it. Right.
Right.
And then you can keep on and multiply that. And then, obviously get your content down to where it's like actually performing. You're happy about it. It's providing value and obviously in the search as well. So that's good to hear. And also I'm just a perfectionist. So it's like, well, it's got to be absolutely perfect. And then we never do anything about it. So it's good to hear. It's like, hey, make it good, but also get it out there too. So that's awesome. Now, we did talk about keywords. What are the most simplistic, foundational, I just got to make sure I'm doing the right things from the get-go? Like somebody can walk out right now and say, okay, these are the keywords we need to be really focused on.
So there are a couple of answers to that question. The first is if you are a business owner, marketing manager, and you find yourself answering a certain question to your population a lot. People are asking, how much does this cost? If you're a healthcare industry, in the healthcare industry, they're asking, does insurance pay for this? If you have frequently asked questions, that's what those facts are, right? Your content should answer that, and your keywords should be related to that. Now, more and more with the rise of generative AI in Google, it becomes more important that your keywords are not just one word now, but a long tail keyword, which is basically a phrase or a question. So that's where I would start you on the keyword path. If you aren't doing anything at all, you haven't started, you don't have metadata, you don't know, you're like, Cari, I don't know what this is all Greek to me. I shut down when someone said SEO. The very fundamental thing that I see most people don't do is they haven't mapped their core pages to a keyword. So they haven't said, this is my homepage and I'm a creative studio and we do storytelling strategy. They haven't mapped that homepage to storytelling strategy or narrative storytelling for marketing. So that's the very first thing, is kind of running through your primary pages on your site and saying, okay, let's actually come up with a strategy for this. Like that's novel idea. Let's have some intention behind what these pages are. I usually recommend you do that before you write said page because it helps. But if you've already done it, go back and map keywords to your pages. This is a great place where Claude or ChatGPT can actually help with that. And come up with kind of a core strategy around what are my pages trying to rank for. And then that can influence what your content is trying to rank for.
Yeah. I love the FAQ piece because that's anytime we have a client come to us and like, hey, we want to do a video series or we're looking to do a podcast or something like that. What should we be talking about? I'm like, we got 10 questions right there. Let's go with those. That's your first 10 episodes. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, and I think that people underestimate that. Like, SEO is great, but at the end of the day, your website is for a human being. Right. And so if your website isn't doing the heavy lifting of sales resource or sales enablement, if it's not providing educational tools to your current clients or educating other people to become your ideal client, then it's not working. it doesn't matter how great your SEO is, and all the SEOs out there have cringed now. But like ultimately, content is made to serve people. And that's where you should go first, is how can we serve our audience best? And then there are some easy fundamental rules that you can apply that make them nice for the Google god.
Yeah.
That's super helpful. And sorry, letting my brain catch up with my mouth, or my mouth catch up with my brain. Something that I pulled out of that too is that it's almost like if you're thoughtful about what the keyword is for that page, if it's your homepage, your services page, or this article that you wrote, you're trying to make sure you get enough of it there so that people, when they search, they can find it.
Mm-hmm.
But once they land there, whatever's written needs to be written for them. Because as I understand it, like Google and all the things now, like time on page, how they engage with the page, that reinforces your ranking, right? Like if I get here and it looks like, oh, I actually found what I was looking for and I spent time reading this, then that tells Google, oh, that was a good match.
Right.
Versus like, I got on here and it's just 2 paragraphs that has that word 30 times. Then they bounce off of it half a second later.
Right.
That's not helping you out. And so you're writing for the people, but the keywords get them there from the search side of it. That's how I'm interpreting that. A question I have, and I know that the 3 of us deal with these kinds of businesses, I would assume that if you're a local business and you're not worried about somebody 7 states away versus a national business that wants to have a national reach, that the way you go about this probably has some differences. So like, are there some things in that even as I say that, you'd be like, yeah. And what I'm thinking is more like the local businesses don't need to care about X, Y, Z as much, because obviously the bigger your audience you're trying to reach, the more things you got to do to be good at it. But if you're just like, man, I serve a town of 8,000 people and there's like 3 of us that do the same thing and I want to be the first they find, those are some different, there's less work, I'm imagining, involved.
There is less work.
Okay.
There's different work, really. I mean, and this is where working with a great SEO forward copywriter can help you.
Okay.
Or a strategist who helps you think about things before you start writing the site. Like there's so much stuff that can be done early on in the process that would actually help you more than anything else, right? So there's definitely, I mean, if you can be less competitive for major keywords, right? Like there are 2 things that influence search. One is you have told Google that you do these things and you've used these keywords, so it signals to Google that's what you do. And you're consistent. See, you have to build trust with Google as well as your audience. And the benefit of that is that typically if you build trust with your audience, you also are consistent in your messaging. And so you are building trust with Google. So that's a thing. But if you're working as a local business, there are things that you want to do to signal to Google that, hey, I'm in Northwest Arkansas and I really could care less about the Yahoo over in Atlanta, right? Like that's not my client. I can't actually serve them, right? So then it does become more important that you put your location into things, that you're saying, hey, we're Northwest Arkansas based, that you're like telling people, again, who come to your site, that's where you are. So you're giving them signals, but those same signals also serve to give Google signals. And then your metadata and another big word, schema markup, become very important because that's also where you're going to tell people or Google on the back end that, hey, I really only work with these folks.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Well, as we wrap up here, we always like to take action or give just a simple thing that somebody can implement. I show up Monday morning to my job. I roll in and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tackle SEO this week and do all the things.
I'm going to win.
I'm going to
win
SEO.
I'm catching up.
It's happening. Speaking for myself in this because I have a laundry list of things to do now. So I'm like thinking through all this stuff. But what is the one thing that, you know, we can do to set up maybe an SEO routine for your week? So it's like Mondays are that day, and what is the thing that I need to do to kick it off and maybe a priority or something like that?
I'm warring with myself because like I'm a content writer by heart. So my heart is like, well, let's make content strategy and write a blog. But really the simplest, fastest way is start with your homepage. Create an intention behind that homepage. Decide what am I answering for my audience today? And if that answer is who, I don't know, does veneers in Rogers, Arkansas, then start to turn your copy that direction so that you're starting to answer that question in the copy itself, particularly in the headers. But the simplest thing is take a look at your metadata for your homepage, just that.
Yeah.
Make up a meta title that has that information in it. There are character counts. Ask Google, he will tell you what the character counts are. And a meta description that describes your service. And then go through the pictures on your homepage, just that, and give those pictures titles that make sense to your audience. Bryan's getting veneers on his teeth. You know, all of that in the alt tags actually wins your day on the SEO.
Yeah.
Start one page at a time. Don't try to do your whole stinking site in the freaking first day. This is where people get overwhelmed, right? They get in there and they're like, oh, I got to have a 6-page spreadsheet with the tracking and I got to figure out all my keywords and I got to do competitor analysis. There's a lot involved in SEO. But the simplest task you can do today is fix your homepage.
Yeah.
That's the easiest part.
That's great. And also you're kind of giving some permission for us marketing people to be like, it's
take
okay.
a breath.
Take a breath. All the other things will come, believe me, but take a breath in that moment. So, Cari, thank you so much for being here. How can people work with you? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can get in touch with us at storytellerwordsmith.com, or I'm super active on LinkedIn. I'd love to get connected there as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week.